Small, the public information officer for the Commerce City Police Department. It's Tuesday, May 27th, and these are your weekend high or low lights, depending on how you look at them. This is essentially our video blotter where we give you a rundown of the most significant incidents your CCPD patrol officers responded to over the weekend. But we always like to start these off with a few fast facts. We answered 403 calls for service and made 121 traffic stops just on Saturday and Sunday. Now here are those highlights in chronological order. Overnight Thursday into Friday, we received a call about a rattlesnake in a front yard in the 9200 block of Pitkin Street. When we arrived, we indeed found a rattlesnake in the caller's front yard. One of our braver officers used a catch pole to capture it and safely release it back into the wild in a nearby field. Thanks, Officer Ron. Well done. On Friday, officers received an alert from our camera technology that detects stolen vehicles that a stolen U-Haul had entered our Walmart parking lot. Through cooperation with Walmart, we were able to access surveillance footage and observe the suspect exiting the stolen vehicle. We contacted the individual inside the Walmart shopping and arrested her. She claims someone had given her the vehicle. We learned the U-Haul was rented out of Omaha, Nebraska and due back on May 16th. The suspect is now facing second-degree motor vehicle theft charges. Friday night, officers responded to the 15,100 block of East 104th Avenue for reports that a man was yelling at other patients while in the waiting room of a medical facility. When we arrived, we found the individual had an active warrant for his arrest out of Denver for domestic violence assault and a protection order violation. The suspect was taken into custody and transported to the Adams County Jail on the warrant. That same shift of officers overnight Friday responded to a two-vehicle crash in the 7,000 block of East 88th Avenue. Both the driver and the passenger of the at-fault vehicle were found to have sustained serious bodily injuries as a result of the collision. DUI was not a contributing factor, but the at-fault driver is facing a careless driving charge as well as a citation for driving with expired plates. Both of the vehicles involved in that crash were impounded. Again, overnight Friday, officers responded to another crash. This one did involve DUI. A person called 911 to report that a vehicle had swerved off 96th Avenue and into a field around Potomac Street. When we arrived, we contacted the driver, who also had two young children in car seats in the rear of the vehicle, both of whom sustained minor injuries in that crash. Our investigation revealed the driver was under the influence of alcohol and had been driving into oncoming lanes of traffic before swerving off the road to avoid a crash. The children were released to a sober parent, and the driver was jailed on DUI, child abuse, reckless driving, and driving without a license charges. Overnight Saturday, officers conducted what we call a high-visibility DUI saturation due to the holiday weekend. In between your calls for service, officers made 64 traffic stops and had 2 DUI arrests. Great proactive police work patrol. That same shift of officers Saturday responded to yet another DUI crash, this one at the Animal Urgent Care in the 15,400 block of East 120th Avenue. The reporting party stated that a truck had struck another vehicle in the parking lot, and the driver of the truck was now asleep behind the wheel. Prior to officers arriving on scene, firefighter personnel had forced entry into the truck and found the driver to be extremely intoxicated. The driver was transported to the hospital as a precaution, but is facing DUI and careless driving charges. Officers overnight Sunday into Monday responded to another DUI, this one a hit and run. The suspect struck the victim's car in the 18,000 block of East 108th Place and then proceeded to Turnberry Elementary School. The victim followed the suspect to that location and called 911, blocking in the suspect's vehicle until officers could arrive and take the suspect into custody for DUI, as well as hit and run and careless driving. His vehicle was impounded. On a positive note, we had an amazing time with you at yesterday's Memorial Day Parade, the largest in the state of Colorado. Thanks for turning out in droves like you always do, and thank you to the men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice while serving in our armed forces. Yesterday was for them. That's all for now. We'll see you next time. Have a safer week, Commerce City, and remember, if you need us, we are always just minutes away.